Hello, I'm here. This is Darin Martineau with Pro Magic Art and Magic Secrets Live, and we're here at the Utah Art of Magic Festival today. And this is Cameron Smith. How's it going, Cameron?
Going great.
It's great to see you here. Great to see you performing. I also originally met you I saw you perform in Street Magic. So, how long have you been doing the art of magic?
I've been doing magic since I was 8 years old or so. I'm not exactly sure. So that's cool. Probably around 18 years.
Very cool. So, what is your style and your approach to magic? You know, what kind of category and what kind of style would you
I've been doing close-up magic the longest. It's kind of what I like the best, getting in with people really close. Lately I've been doing a little bit more stand-up work because I'm trying to get professional, get into corporate events and those kinds of things. But yeah, I mean, my approach to magic has always been trying to make people feel good. And so I try as much as I can to involve a lot of people, to make them happy, and hopefully show them some good magic.
Cool. So, do you have any mentors in magic, or any inspirations, or who would be some of your favorite magicians, or would you say would be people that really inspired you in the art?
I'm very self-taught. I haven't been terribly involved in the community, and I'm trying to get more into it. I just met a few guys that are in the clubs around.
Cool.
So I don't really have any personal mentors. But I do love guys like Nick Lewin has been very helpful to me, just talking to him online. Helped me a lot when I was putting together my first corporate show. And then guys like David Williamson, I love his style. He's a little bit over the top for some people, but I love it.
I love David Williamson.
It's so fun. Yeah. And so I've actually taken a little bit of his material and incorporated it into mine. Paul Daniels to me a little bit, but really it's been, David Williamson's been kind of the big one that I love.
Cool.
Watch.
So are you also working on doing a lot of corporate magic, like trade shows and stuff, or in the professional show aspects? What kind of are your goals in that area? Would you say?
Yeah, I would love to do more corporate work. It's been kind of a slow go the last few years. I've been doing a lot of other things. I'm in college. I've been doing a couple of stage show musicals and things. So the marketing has been a little slow. But the shows that I have been doing is mostly house parties, and I would love to get more into corporate events and weddings.
You want to break into the trade show world?
I'm not sure. I haven't tried the trade shows, but I think I could be good at it. I've got a loud voice. And I've got my dad's a really great salesman, so he's taught me a few things, so I think I'd be all right at it.
Very cool, very cool. So close-up magic is your forte, would you say?
Mm-hmm.
Close-up?
Yep.
What is your specialty, within the niche of close-up? What would you say? Would it be cards? Would it be, what would you say was your number one specialty?
That's actually an interesting thing. I don't really specialize in anything. I do a few card tricks. I do one or two coin tricks. I do my rope routine. I do chop cut. I do a lot of different things. So I don't feel like I have a real specialty.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess that's it.
So kind of a general practitioner, like Garrett Darwin would call someone who kind of does a lot of different kinds of magic, not just one kind, like say close-up or parlor or illusions. There's a lot of guys that actually there's not a lot, but there's a few guys that do that. Like they do not just the stage stuff, the illusions. One of them would be someone like Morgan. Have you heard of Morgan Streetboy?
Yeah.
He's doing the liquid metal. He's an old friend. We go way back.
Nice.
But as far as advanced magic, or what would be some of your recommendations? Because this is obviously going to the Master Magic Mentors, and we're helping people all over the world. What would you say is some of the principles and the theories on an advanced level, whether it be in performing or just what would you say is a good advice for people wanting to be a master magician that are working on very advanced things, instead of just doing all technique, and structuring a show, or what is some things that you like to do to improve your magic acts?
Yeah, I'm interesting that way because I'm really not a tactician, or I'm not a
technician.
Yeah, technician. I don't really dig into that. I don't really dig into the history of magic, anything like that. I'm just a performer.
Okay.
So my repertoire is actually quite small, I think, compared to a lot of guys.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah. But then my philosophy has always been just perform. because the way that you practice, the way you get better is really just doing it for other people. You can practice in front of a mirror all you want, but really it's actually getting in front of real people who have not seen it before, and just doing it over and over and over and over and over again. You'll find your style, you'll find what you like to do, and that's where the tweaks happen in tricks. A lot of times I'll pick up a trick and I'll do it just the way the instructions say, or just the way that it is in the video, or whatever. And if I don't perform it for anybody, that's the way that it stays. But if I do it for other people over and over again, then it turns into my trick. So yeah, I'm not super knowledgeable about all things magic, but I love to perform.
Well, let's say for some of our magicians that are in our groups and things like this, that they're starting to dabble in the places they perform, like say street magic or something like this. Because when I first met you, you were actually doing street magic, and it's really different, isn't it? I mean, when you go out busking and when you go out and you change environments, it really changes your material, doesn't it?
For sure, and there's a lot of things that I do that work for almost any environment. For example, I do kind of a variation on fiber optics for my rope routine, and that'll work on stage, it works in the street, it works close up, it works everywhere. But there's a lot of things that you have to pay attention to, so when I was doing street magic, I had to try to pick things that, you either have to bring a microphone and have a speaker.
Yeah, I noticed you're really good at gathering a crowd. You had a huge crowd when you were out there. Could you give some tips, maybe to some magicians that are trying to gather a crowd in street magic? I mean, I know you have all kinds of great advice, but what would be a good tip in that, just to do it like a crowd gathering for a street magic?
Sure, and I'm no expert at street magic either, but I did have a lot of people stop by, and so for me, the hardest part is just getting the first few people to stop. And then when you're performing for those couple of people, usually that takes 10-15 minutes to get the first person to actually stop and watch. Once you get that person, then I'm constantly trying to refer to other people as they're walking by. Just when it's a small group, then I'll be doing this card trick and say, hey, take a look at this, and they'll see it. But then once I get one or two people, I just try to be as big and loud and as energetic and fun as I can. Because people want to see what's going on when something loud is happening and when people are gathering around. If you can get a few people and you can be very energetic and fun and show good magic, that's the most important thing, then people will come by themselves.
Definitely. So what would you say are a couple examples for street magicians for an opening effect, for the crowd gathering and building, like for the first effect, just to gather their attention? Because a lot of people have a lot of different approaches.
Sure, and again, I'm no expert, I just kind of do whatever's on hand, but I find that doing something that gets you off of your table is really helpful. There was actually a bench behind me on the street the other day, so when there was a big crowd, I would stand on the bench and do stuff so more people could see.
That's clever, very clever idea.
But anything that gets you up. And
higher than the crowd?
Yeah, and so my rope routine is great for that. And that's really one of the only things that I can do that's up here. But, if
you do a lot of
like
face framing stuff. I noticed. Like not only the ropes, but your magic is not like looking down at your hands. I noticed it's very. They're looking at you. They're looking, which is a good like blocking, or how would you say, a good theatrical acting thing. Do you have any background in acting?
I do a little bit. I've done some musicals and things. I'm a singer as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw that on your Facebook. That's really cool. It is really cool. And that song is really perfect for magic too.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But yeah, I mean the face framing I find is just one of those really it's one of the things that people don't think about when they're a technician in magic. They think that it's all about the sleight of hand and the fancy handwork.
Yeah.
But to me at least, what I've found is that the magic is really 50%, maybe less, the actual magic, and the rest of it is the performer. And so I try to be as friendly and fun as I can be, and the magic is great, and so it definitely, if the magic wasn't any good, people would stick around. But for sure, you have to develop people skills and be able to interact with people on a friendly and comfortable way.
Yeah, I noticed you have more of like a comedy approach instead, because a lot of magicians, they get real serious, and I mean, I guess that would be okay for like a stage act or something. When you look at someone like Shin, he does a silent act and it works for him to music, and the winner of